Now we have a speaker from Federal Highway, Bill Wade. Bill is the Assistant Division Administrator for Federal Highway in the Maryland Division Office here in Baltimore and has served in that position for the past 9 years. Bill graduated from the University of Maryland at College Park in 1981 with a bachelor degree of science in transportation management. Bill worked for the Maryland State Highway Administration from 1984 to 1988 before joining the Federal Highway. Bill has been with Federal Highway for 26 years and has served in many states in the Federal Highway Headquarters Office in Washington, D.C. He mostly recently served in the Federal Highway Florida Division, where he was the Director of Planning, Environmental, and Right-of-Way from 2001 to 2007. Bill?
Thank you, Rod, for that introduction. You know, the last time I spoke a couple of months ago to a group similar to this, when the guy before me sat down and I rose to speak, they booed the poor guy. And you know, when I got done speaking and I sat down, they booed the poor guy again. You know, it was a tough crowd. You guys are a lot more polite, so thank you very much. I was really excited when I heard that we were having this bridge conference, that you guys were meeting. I didn't know that you all did this. I've always had a real appreciation for bridges. One of the things I like to do on the weekend is I like to ride some of the trails we have here in the Baltimore, Washington area, which they are very numerous. And frequently I'm on my bike, I'll stop if I'm going under a bridge or an underpass, and I'll sort of take a look at it. And if I see something, I'll take a picture. And I've been known to email our bridge people on the holidays and the weekends. Look what I found. And I see Dennis sitting here. He used to be in the office and receive my weekend holiday emails, but Dennis, just to let you know that your replacement is getting them now. But I want to say this meeting is a great opportunity for you, state, local agencies, bridge practitioners, contractors, consultants, suppliers, academia, federal government folks, to exchange and promote best practices, new technology, and innovations in the area of highway bridge inspection, preservation, and maintenance. And like I said, I think this is a great opportunity, and I'm glad you guys are doing this. Preservation of our bridges requires a partnership of all those components of the bridge preservation community. And I know all of you are focused on improving and promoting bridge preservation principles and concepts. Collectively, I think we work on ensuring that our bridges are safe and function as intended during their design. We have about, as Greg mentioned before me, we have got about 5,000 or so bridges in the state of Maryland, and that's split pretty much 50-50 between state and local. There's about 55 million square feet of deck area. And one of the things I noticed when Greg was talking about the historic bridges, we also have, I think in the county, in Frederick County, we have 3 covered bridges that we assist with maintaining too. So the average age of our bridge is about 43 years. And most of these bridges are designed for a 50-year service life. Today, I believe we're designing them for a 70-year service life. But as you can see, we're approaching that 50-year span right now on many of our structures. So I think it's crucial that we're getting together and we're talking about how we can preserve these bridges and how we can keep them to the 50-year lifespan and maybe even a little bit more. What's Federal Highways doing? We recently passed the FAST Act. President Obama signed that act in December of 2015. It reauthorizes the Federal Highway Administration transportation program, and it basically stabilizes our trust fund for the next 5 years. It's a $305 billion transportation program funding act. It's the first law that we've had in, I think, over 10 years that guarantees state, local, federal surface transportation programs will be continuing for at least the next 5 years. The past 10 years, we've had a number of continuing resolutions. We had an act that only lasted 2 years, and many of the states and the locals are saying, well, we can't plan, we can't program our structures, our highway program based on these short-lived things. So this is a great benefit that the Congress saw to make sure that we have some guarantee in our funding over the next time, a long-term time frame. For the structures area, the FAST Act provides more flexibilities to improve the condition of our infrastructure. Flexibilities include making the National Highway Performance Program funding now available for bridge preservation. It also exempts some bridges from 4F, and it also authorizes the taking of nesting swallows in at-risk bridges. So I think we've heard your calls for some flexibility, and so I think the Act has built a few of these things into it. It also encourages states to save costs and time by bundling multiple bridges. This was an area where the way our contracting authority operated, you had to pretty much bid each bridge and contract it out separately. But now we're sort of treating them more like, or we can treat them more like area-wide projects, and we can put a lot of these bridges together and save time and money with the contracting. So this is a great meeting. It's an opportunity for you all to strengthen your relationship with one another. It's an opportunity for you to check if your goals are still on track. And as you meet these next 3 days, I would encourage you to think about the following 5 questions. Please consider the following 5 questions. So get your pens and your paper out and get ready to write down what I'm going to ask you. How do we ensure and maintain the highest quality bridge inventory and inspection data? And how do we use this data to help us determine what our preservation needs are? 2, how do we capture or measure the impacts of our preservation activities? 3, how can we reliably present data to decision makers that show preservation does indeed extend the life of our structures? 4, if there are any knowledge gaps or gaps in our data, what strategies and activities do we need to put in place to close those gaps? And number 5, finally, how can we better educate and inform our political leadership and the public in order to gain their support for our efforts? So over the next 3 days, I encourage you to share your best practices and challenges with each other to help place focus on any needed improvements and continue to promote the use of effective preservation principles, concepts, and applications. Your contribution toward ensuring that our bridges are safe and functioning as they were originally designed is very valuable and much appreciated. So please enjoy your conference and enjoy Baltimore. Thank you.